Hi, I'm Ellen. Today I'm going to share with you some of the quilts that I've made over the years. So I brought behind us, it was a gift from my son. It was a kit that he gave me for Christmas called Crystal Prism. So I started that in the end of December and finished it about 2 weeks ago. Well, everything came pre-cut, which was really nice, so I really just had to follow the directions and make sure I did everything mirror imaged, because it ended up as just 4 big blocks mirror image of each other. Yeah, I quilted it on the long arm. I have one in my sewing room my husband got me a few years back. This one, my mom was a quilter the whole time I was growing up. That's where I started quilting, and she passed away a couple years ago, and I was going through all her boxes of fabric because we were going to donate what I didn't want to the local high school where my brother worked, and I found all these little baggies of cut fabric, like 20 different baggies and all these different boxes, and I couldn't figure out what they were for. And in the very last box I found a pattern called the friendship braid, and I was like, that's what all these pieces are for. So I pulled all those little baggies back out and I took it home with me, and I made this in my mom's memory. She didn't get it made, but I did. I keep it on our sofa, and my husband tends to sit on the sofa every night under it watching TV. I learned how to sew when I was young, and I took sewing all through school, and then got my first quilting kit with her back in Pennsylvania when we lived there. And whenever I'd get together, I wanted to learn more, she'd teach me a little bit more. And then we moved out here 17 years ago when I found the Meissner store out in Folsom. We went because we were looking for something for her, and just bought some jelly roll, and then just started playing. And then I started taking classes there, and then I just snowballed from that. But she did a lot of hand applique. Every grandchild got a baby quilt when they were born, and then when they turned 2, they got a big girl or big boy bed quilt. And then they got one when they graduated high school. And then because her one niece she was still alive when my one niece got married, so they would get a quilt when they got married. So now I have to do the wedding quilts. But the baby quilts for family members, the babies will all get. My cousin's having her first grandchild probably in 2 weeks. I'm just waiting. It's going to be one of 2 quilts, whether it's a boy or a girl. So just waiting for that baby to be born. This is called a Mondo bag. I took the class at the Folsom store a whole bunch of years ago. I've made a lot of them. I do a new one every year for the beach for me. My girls have them, my sister, my nieces, my brother wanted one. Friends from Aruba all have them. They just, niece out back east has one. So yeah, people see them and love them. I got a picture from my one niece yesterday with her kitten in hers. She'd had stuff in it, delivered, came home, put the bag down, and the kitten climbed in. So I got that picture yesterday from her. My youngest daughter quilts. My sister just started quilting a couple months ago. My middle daughter says, "Mommy, can you make me?" Well, my sister lives in Minnesota, so she, her best friend's mom was a quilter. She passed away in 2021 also, with 2 massive sewing rooms, one in Minnesota and one in Texas. And I got all of the contents from the Minnesota store, or her Minnesota sewing room. And her Texas sewing room, she had 5 sewing machines, and when my sister's friend flew down to get everything, rented a car and drove it all back, she brought back the 5 sewing machines. They gave my sister one of them. So my sister took a sewing class at a quilt shop by her, and she started sewing that way. So she's been out, she's seen all my stuff. I had her sewing a year ago. I had her make a pillow when she was out visiting me. So she kind of knew how to sew a little bit, and then she took the 1 class so far. She signed up for a second one, and she's doing well with the straight seams, the blocks and the rectangles, and she's doing quilt tops that way for now. So she's started. The youngest she's been sewing for, I think, forever, my youngest daughter. Yeah. She's a elementary school teacher, a very big crafter. They're both very good crafters, both my girls. Yeah, just have fun. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because as I learned, if you can't see it from a galloping horse, it's not that big of a mistake. And better to finish it and use it than to get frustrated and just throw it in a corner. Because just keep plugging away. And I remember, I know she taught me, it's like, how do I do the binding? How do I do the backing? How do I do this? And she taught me all of that. But I think it was more of just finish it. Just finish it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just really want to finish it. Because you'll know what the mistakes are in it, but other people won't. They'll just think it's beautiful and they'll be happy to have it, and they won't notice the mistakes. Yeah. It's just really fun. It's when you're worried about something or something's bothering you and you go into the sewing room and you just start sewing, you forget the whole outside world and all the stresses kind of melt away, unless you need to pull out your seam ripper. And I just find when I need to escape, I just like to go in the sewing room. I found this pattern online for a Mickey Mouse. And so I'm currently working on this. I'm going to hopefully quilt it during this rainstorm that's coming. And then this one will be for my granddaughter, I think for Easter. And then I'm going to do another one. I have the fabric cut for a second one because I can't only do one Disney quilt. I always have to do two. So working on this, and then doing a block of the month called Fair Isle. And then I think we're going to start a quilt called Labyrinth Walk with a bunch of friends next month. We're planning on doing that.